Yeah, welcome back to the show. It's Morning Spring on Western Spring Television, and we just ended the newspaper review segment. We're about to head into the conversation, and it's going to be an extension of security matters, the insecurity prevalent in Nigeria, and, some of the conversations and updates around that. Remember the redesignation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern by the U.S. President, Donald Trump, and some of the steps that have been taken by Representative U.S. Congressman Riley Moore and the Appropriations Committee Chairman Tom Cole, and some other, developments. For years now, insecurity in Nigeria's Middle Belt and parts of the Northeast has drawn international attention, and particularly around attacks on rural communities in states such as Plateau, such as Benue in southern Kaduna. So what began as conversations around farmer herder clashes, insurgency, and banditry has increasingly been framed in some international circles as targeted religious persecution. And now this conversation has resurfaced following a statement circulated by the United States House Committee on Appropriations and shared by Congressman Riley Moore, describing the violence against Christians in Nigeria as genocide and calling for U.S. policy action. The conversation goes on, and right there on the Punch newspaper, we can see details of that there. The United States House Committees on Appropriations and Foreign Affairs on Monday officially submitted, to the White House a report detailing their findings and recommendations on addressing the alleged persecution of Christians in Nigeria. Recall that President Donald Trump, after redesignating Nigeria as a country of particular concern, mandated Congressman Riley Moore and Appropriations Committee Chairman Tom Cole to lead a comprehensive investigation into the alleged persecution of Christian communities by terrorists and the security challenges plaguing Nigeria. Moore confirmed the submission of the report on his X handle at Riley Moore on Monday evening. And shortly you'll be seeing that displayed on your screen. But that's, the findings have come. And as a matter of fact, one of the things that really draws attention is the fact that they said there that Nigeria is the most dangerous country to live in as a Christian. All right. So on the conversation on the show this morning, we'll be talking about that. And for that conversation to make sense and for us to make, bring the conversation into proper perspective, we have with us right here in the studios, a security expert, a policy and public affairs analyst right here in the studios, Mr. Akin Adeyi. Good morning.
Pleasure to be with you.
It's good to have you join us this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right. Since the inception of that, the alleged Christian genocide and the statements, all of the interactions, with the president, Donald Trump, U.S. President Donald Trump, and with Rep. Riley Moore, and some of the, actions that has been taken so far around that. First off, I'd like to ask you what your opinion is about, the alleged Christian genocide in Nigeria and what this means, for our image on the international scene.
Thank you very much. Once again, good morning. You see, it's quite unfortunate that we find ourselves in this situation as a country due to our carelessness as a people and as a government. Initially, we were talking about country of particular concern. Now we have moved to where that terrible statement is coming in, that Nigeria is the most dangerous country to live in as a Christian. The deadliest. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's not being, it's not too fair coming from America to us and we allowing them to use, carelessly allowing them to use that kind of statement for us. That's a dangerous statement. That I'm a Christian, I live in Nigeria. It's quite unfortunate that they will go to the Middle Belt, use the yardstick to measure the entire country, what is happening there in the Middle East, Middle Belt, to measure the security situation of the country. Much as America was seen at the beginning of the whole thing to be sincere, I think it is coming to a stage now where one will be suspecting America in this whole thing. That are they sincere? Their sincerity is in doubt now. This particular one that they have done in this case, at the time we think we are coming out of being branded CPC. Now they are coming up with these terrible reports, because going through the report, you will see that it has more to the ordinary. It contains a lot of things that will make you think, okay, after all, Nigerians that were doubting their intention at the beginning were right after all. In this report, they were talking about trade now. They're talking about our resources. They're talking about expunging certain parts of our law. And that is getting too much. That is touching our sovereignty as a country, of which some Nigerians have, at the beginning, expressed their reservation. That, okay, America, wherever they go, they tamper with the sovereignty of that country, they tamper with the economy, they tamper with... So this report has more to it than meet the ordinary highs. When they are now even talking about China, Russia, as if they want to bring us into conflict. They are coming to drive those people away or to reduce their influence on our economy or whatever. And that will make Nigeria a battlefield.
Perhaps because of the stand of the U.S. with China or Russia, and talking about their intervention with Nigeria now, probably there will be conflict of interest. Do you not think it's coming from that angle?
No, that's exactly what I'm saying now. There is already conflict of interest now. It's like the U.S. is envious of China exploit here. They are envious of the Russian, the way some Nigerians, especially in some part of the north, there was a time that we had a crisis here in Nigeria when northerners were, flying Russian flags and everything. I think they are envious of that Nigeria is more aligned to those two countries by way of trade, by political alignment than them. And now they are just coming under the excuses of religious dissing. By this statement that is coming, by this report now, it means all our efforts to convince America that this is not about religious killing, that this thing is just a kind of some people getting crazy and doing all these things. It means it was all a wasted effort.
Mr. Adeyi, well, before I ask you this very important question, you talked about, I'd like to ask you, why did China or Russia, with our diplomatic ties as a country to them, why did they not step in? They probably know that we have these killings, we have insecurity. So if they do not come under the guise of genocide, why did they not come to our aid? Or were they waiting for Nigeria to ask for this help?
You see, China, Russia, America, they are all dangerous customers. When you have them involved in the affairs of your country, they are not all sincere countries. They don't invest 1 naira where they will not get 1 million naira. So those people, they were concerned about milking Nigeria, and they were busy with that. They concentrated on that. They are not bothered about America until this time. So they were here quietly exploiting us, causing conflicts and milking on that. The result of the conflict. So it's like you eating now. When you are eating, when you are on the dining table, they said you don't make noise. So not until America discovered that these people are eating the larger chunk of this whole thing now. Let's go there. Let's see whether we can drive them away, and then we'll start doing this. So that is exactly what is happening. All of them, they are treacherous nations when it comes to wealth or exploitation of the people, especially in Africa.
All right. Before my colleague comes in, now let's begin to drive this point home. That's touching on, what you said. I don't think that this is coming vaguely, especially as reported on The Punch. The findings of the report stem from interviews with expert witnesses, a hearing and roundtable, 2 on-the-ground assessments. They had come to Nigeria to, make their assessments, and with the collaboration of the NSA as well, and 2 on-the-ground assessments through bipartisan congressional delegations to Nigeria, and close partnership with the Trump administration. Now, would you say that these findings have come lightly? These findings have come on the heels of an on-the-ground assessment and from the mouths of witnesses themselves.
From what you read there, ask yourself, which portion of that report said they discussed with those criminal elements, whereas it was supposed to be so?
They should have discussions with the criminals.
This report is biased. Their effort is biased.
Are you saying
they said they discussed with the National Security Advisor, they discussed with the victims, they discussed with this and that. What about
witnesses?
Those people?
Yes.
They said they discussed with witnesses and everything. What about those people? In all of this, they are entitled to conversation with them by this America if they are genuine about their intention.
They should have discussions.
Yes, it's normal in diplomatic, international diplomatic effort. They should find a way of meeting with them. They have leadership and everything. In other arrangement, they meet with them, sit them down and say, okay, what exactly is your grouse? What do you want? How do you think we can resolve this?
Americans don't negotiate with terrorists.
It's not about negotiation now. It's not about negotiation. It's about listening to you first.
Okay.
I can't negotiate with you if I don't listen with you. I can't take a decisive action against you if I have not listened to you. So have they in any way before sat down with these people to say, okay, come, Mr. Eccentric Character, what is your problem with this? They will tell them, you go back and write this kind of report, then you take a decision on what to do with them. So there has not been any record of that. You listen to one side and you deceive Nigeria now. I believe we have been deceived now. We have been scammed. Because what they told us is not what they are. Although this is a report, it's not a final decision of America. These recommendations, well, I don't see how Mr. Trump, that had already wanted all this in this way, we run away from this, say, okay, what you have recommended, what you have reported or suggested or advised, I'm not going to do it. If we do this thing, he will do about, say, 90% of it. That is if he's not going to do it 100%. Because it is his mind now that they have reduced into a report. The mind of Mr. Trump.
They had an assessment.
What assessment now in this case? The fact that they didn't meet those people. That means
it negates their findings.
It negates their findings. It reduces their genuineness, their sincerity in this case. They should discuss with them no matter how. Even if they are going to discountenance their points and everything. But coming now saying that we should tamper with our constitution, that is remove Sharia, which our constitution has allowed for about 10 states in Nigeria. Do you know?
The Nigerian constitution.
Yes, it allows for Sharia. It has approved Sharia for some states. So now we go all org of the National Assembly, and that is breeding serious religious crisis. The problem is not about Sharia. Sharia has no problem as a kind of law. It's about the people misinterpreting it and implementing it in the wrong way.
Is that not a problem?
It's a problem
we have people
that
misinterpreting what the Sharia says.
And the remover now, going all into a National Assembly that is people with Christian and Muslim, even maybe by majority Muslim, to say we want to remove this, then it will bring another crisis. You can't solve a problem with another problem by creating another problem. So these things that they are doing, I know Nigeria government can be on their own, decide that we are not going to do this thing that you are saying. But we are kind of playing into their hands now by allowing them to come. I was part of the school of thought that said, okay, let them come at that time. But with this thing that came out now, I'm beginning to suspect them. Maybe resign my decision to approve of their coming. I see them as a thief who is giving excuses to come into your house. That he wants to come and drive the rats in your house, whereas the aim is to go and steal meat from your.
But a thief that is giving you a recommendation, a thief that is giving you a structure as to how they might want you people to work together in stealing, so to speak, borrowing your words.
If you are genuine about salvaging this situation for Nigeria, you don't need to go all this route that they are talking about. We know, America knows where these people are. And if you are going to talk all these things, go and deal with these people first. Then we start talking all these things that you are talking. But you are not coming to talk about trade. You are talking about our resources. You are talking about our constitution. You are talking about so many things that could be very delicate. That could be very, very delicate. I want to believe that Nigeria will prove smarter. Some countries have outsmarted the US before. We can do the same. So
many people will ask, from your standpoint, I mean, if the U.S. doesn't know where this, terrorists, where this bandits and sergeants are, does the Nigerian government even know where they are? And why is the Nigerian government, somewhat complacent and haven't been, on top of this matter for years now?
That's why I said we should all be regretting this now, due to our carelessness and greed of the past. We've been rapacious in the dealing with this. We've not been sincere, and that is the result now. We all know, some Nigerian leaders even know them and work with them. We have listened to many revelations indicting government officials in all of this. The U.S. just came up with some indictment again just about last week or a week before, mentioning names. Nigerian government knew the names, but if they refused to mention because of our political complexity. Because by the time you know it, your PA is even working with these people, or your best friend, or your legislators, those people that are supposed to be practically mad that this thing is happening to us, you find their fingers soiled in this case. So we've been treating the thing with kid gloves until now that it has boomerang. If Nigeria can do something now, organize a program on television, name names, and come for reward, a lot of people will go down in this case. The big men that are involved in all of this. There's no sincerity everywhere. When you want to define corruption in some other crimes, you quickly define it in one sentence. But in Nigeria, our corruption is so complex that you cannot use even 20, 30 paragraphs to describe it. This war that we are talking about, this insurgency and all what have you, the corruption is, the matter is bedeviled with corruption to a very large extent. That's why we are still having the problem. And except you remove that clause, corruption, from all these things, that will get to the root of the matter and probably solve the problem.
All right, let's talk about the report proper now. And I would like to speak from what you said earlier. In your opinion, are you saying that this report is a bit lopsided because America did not get to interact with the Fulani militias and the terrorists? That's what you're trying to insinuate?
That's what I'm saying, but that's not just the only thing that makes the report suspicious.
What other things do you think?
Other things is that they are mentioning things that, you see, when ablution is getting beyond the elbow, it becomes another thing. In Yoruba, they say, when you are going or stepping beyond your bounds in anything that you are doing, you bring suspicion. We tend to suspect you that, oh, this guy is doing something different. This is not what we bargained for. This is not what we agree upon. So their report now, it means they only came to affirm the allegation on ground, even escalated.
Meaning there's an ulterior motive behind this report.
You cannot say you are here in Nigeria and you come on verification exercise and you even went beyond what has been allegedly on ground. Looking at this report now, they ballooned the whole thing even beyond what Trump was saying, describing our country as the deadliest place for a Christian to live. That's a terrible one.
All right, with the fact that they have come up with this report, what would you say, in your opinion, should be the reaction of the Nigerian government? Nigeria have debunked that this is not a religious war. And now the report is saying, because if you check it through, all it has been saying is the Christian genocide. This is an attack against Christians.
Okay, let us look at it from this angle.
Okay.
Now, shortly after they said that, and they left, these criminal elements went, killed a whole community of Muslims, killed several this and that were Muslims. So how do you describe that? And still killing up till now. So this is not about, I want to align with Nigerian government position, and that is not about religious war. This has gone beyond that. It's about some criminal elements just getting crazy and say, okay, so far now, who has sat down, or who has these people sat down with to say this is why we are hungry? There's never been a time they sat down formally in engagement with anybody to say this is why we are angry. They are in different groups. If this one talk this one will talk another one. The Boko Haram, the meaning is that Western education is
It's
evil.
Haram. Yeah, it's evil.
That's the meaning of the Boko Haram when they started. Later, when you say Western education is evil, you are using this mobile phone to say that to the whole world. And Western education provided us with this
technology.
The technology that you are using, even the gun that you are using, it is Western education that gave us that gun that we are using to kill. You say Western education is evil. Are you saying that we should not go to school, we should not do this again? If that is the offense of the country, then you sit down with the country, convince us on why we should not, be educated again. Then we talk it over. If the talk broke down, that is when you can say, oh, this is the reason why we are fighting. Has there been a time that they introduced illiteracy to us that we did not accept before they went on killing people? And are these people that you are killing responsible for what you are doing? You know, all this is, if you ask yourself, you will know that the word that I use for them are eccentric character. People that doesn't know what they are doing. They are just doing things, and then they come to talk about religion sometimes. If you say you want to introduce a religion to me, it is not until when I resist you that you can say, okay, the religion that you brought, I didn't take it, and you want to enforce it on me. That's why. How many places have they gone to say they want to introduce religion and they were resisted? And what is the kind of religion they are talking about? You're talking about being Muslim. When you are killing, you are saying Allah Akbar. Then you go and bomb mosque, bomb Muslims where they are praying and everything. So it cannot be safely said to be a religious crisis. It is just because some people are profiting from it, and they just have to create an excuse for doing what they are doing. That is just what is happening. And it is because of our carelessness as a country and greed, corruption on the part of our leaders.
Now, while you were answering the question earlier, you said there is every tendency that President Trump of the United States will implement 90% of that.
If not 100.
So
it's a premeditated report.
Now, what effect will that have on the country like Nigeria, and how do you expect the government to react to that or to change that trajectory?
No, give it to Nigeria. When there's a problem, we know how to get out of it. America may find a very difficult customer in us. If they have been doing it to other countries, they might end up meeting a brick wall in Nigeria. I know when our leaders, because it is like this Yoruba, this in they say Jambata fu Jambara. They are not more criminal in dealing with issue than us. So the moment we begin to suspect them like this, you know Nigeria now, you know how we used to get out of our problems. So America even respect Nigeria when it comes to Connie game. So I think our leaders will be watching them now, especially and by this report. They might not have been doing that before, but at this time, they will not sleep with their two eyes closed. That, oh, after all, this is what these people are coming here to do. So they might not find it easy at the end of the day.
So it's more like a wake-up call to the Nigerian government to open their eyes now.
No, I know Nigerian government and the people that are there now, they go and sit over this report, ask themselves questions. Oh, so this is where our brothers are coming from. This is what they intend. Okay, you meet us there. So it's our game that they are bringing to us.
In the course of this conversation, severally, you've talked about the fact that this findings and recommendation do not, make room for or provide for or show that there have been, dialogue or, diplomatic relations with these insurgents. But do you find it statutory that they have to, involve those people in a dialogue of sorts? Is it statutory, or is you just consider it necessary?
No, in diplomatic...
because from my findings, it is not statutory.
It's not statutory, but it's important sometimes. It's like you having two children in the house and they are fighting and listening. It demands of you to, listen to the two sides first.
But would that be a good analogy?
If it is not a good analogy, then they go, when they come here, let them go. Whatever they are going to do, let us go and fight. Deal with these people. Why what concerns trade and all this is in what you are saying? All
right, let's go to that report now.
We are talking about our resources now. Are they fighting because of resources? If you talk about resources and where they are fighting, it is in the south and all these things now. And these people are not fighting because of where is the resources in the
well. Let me read out some of the first few lines of that of that finding, as it's right here with me. It's the headline says ending the persecution of Christians in Nigeria, and I read all right, just under the recommendation, it says strike a bilateral agreement between the United States and the government of Nigeria to protect vulnerable Christian communities. If we can have that, on screen, to protect vulnerable Christian communities from violent persecution, eliminates jihadist terror activity in the region, further economic cooperation and counter adversaries in the region, including the Chinese Communist Party and Russian Federation. Such an agreement should include, and it goes on and on. And the first few
the last one you read.
Yeah, it says,
go over it again.
It says, I'll start from that. And it's a further economic cooperation and counter adversaries in the region. And these adversaries now, including Chinese Communist Party and Russian Federation. Do you not think for us to have a good contract, we should work things out? And if the United States is saying that, well, we want to work with you, but we might face in the future, in the near future, some conflicts of interest. So, counter-terrorism, because we talk about that. We've seen in the case of this the Russia-Ukraine war, we've seen in the case of Israel war, with Hamas, how that some things cannot be done because they warn you, do not use this equipment, do not use that equipment. We will find, if you use it, we'll find it as an act of war by another country against us. So some of these things, do you not think that they need to be properly placed down? And especially with this, because today it might be just about insurgency and tomorrow it becomes a broader topic. So if we're to have this work out, do you not think it's a smart move to have this contract worked out, bilateral agreement, so that everyone knows on what page the other is? We might find that we're talking about insurgency now, but in the near future, we'll be talking about trade, we'll be talking about economic cooperation. Is this not a good way to go?
Is it not good for us to wait until the future comes before we start talking about trade?
Is it not good to just have it now?
These people that are disturbing us, they will be 16 and we'll be talking about trade. If you want to assist us, let's go and deal with these people first. They are remnants, if there will be any. Then we start talking about trade. You are not taking the matter too far now, talking about China and Russia.
Yeah, they want
these are big countries when it comes to...
world powers, yes.
So they want to make Nigeria a battlefield where they will be fighting over our resources.
Is that how
the three of them? Yeah, that's the thing now. The three of them, they are deadly people that they want to come and make Nigeria the battlefield now. That is the essence of what they are saying now. Bringing China, bringing Russia into all these things. What about those people? What we are concerned now about is about these people that are disturbing us. Before you can start talking about trade, before you can start talking about furniture in your house, you must first of all exterminate the rats, the cockroaches, and everything first.
Working out an agreement here.
Before you can start working any agreement. Let them come. Let us work together to deal with these people. Then we sit down. Okay,
well, America probably doesn't run their affairs like that. They work on agreements, bilateral agreements that are worked out in clear terms. Do you not think, Mr. Adeyi?
That's fraudulent.
You find this fraud? Placing your cards on the table.
Yes, how can you?
An act of fraud.
You come and talk about my finances and everything, resources, when I have problem that some people are killing my children.
It is rob your bag, I rob my bag, I rob your bag.
We talk about that when you don't cross a bridge when you have not gotten there. You get to a bridge before you cross it. The concern of Nigeria now, what should be our paramount concern now, is how to stop these people. These people are not tampering in any way with our economy. They are tampering indirectly. But while we have our resources, that is not where they are operating.
Some of the recommendations here. The first recommendation says commitments by the Nigerian government, by the government of Nigeria to co-fund with them, co-fund donor-supported humanitarian assistance.
Let me interject there. Okay. The co-fund that they are talking, the co-fund that they are talking now, what have we to use as our own payment for? What they are doing is our oil. That's what they are interested in.
to co-fund for your country.
You don't carry naira there to do and co-fund.
To co-fund donor-supported humanitarian assistance, talking about money of Nigeria staying in Nigeria here. I'm talking about in this particular instance, because it says including through faith-based organization and to prioritize underserved communities of internally displaced persons and their host communities, especially in the predominantly Christian Middle Belt region. It has nothing to do with America.
At international level, you don't carry your naira to go and co-fund or do anything. You co-fund with your resources.
But your resources are going to help your people.
The resources that are meant, and what they will do is that they will sit as king over their resources now. You bargain with your resources, they'll be the one to dictate on what barrel of oil you can produce, who you can sell to, how you can sell it, and what we will take from what is this. So it's not about naira or dollar now. They have looked or stepped beyond what Nigeria might be thinking now. At the initial stage, they said they were coming as just on humanitarian ground or support or anything. But now we are driving to a different direction entirely now. That is it. And America, I said it before, where they will not make 1 million naira, they will not invest 100
but will
naira.
China and Russia go where they will not invest or reap?
The China and Russia that they brought in now, they will come in by way of supply of arms. And Nigeria becomes a battleground.
That's what America
They will be fighting over our resources. The three of them will be fighting over our resources. And you see, any battle that is fought in your living room, you lost that battle already, even if you defeat that person that invaded your living room. Because it is you now that will have to bear the brunt of your damaged television, the brunt of your damaged furniture and everything. So if we are not careful now, we are going to be turned into a battlefield. They know the amount of resources that we have. They know the value and everything, the three of them. Chinese, they are here all over the place in Osun, say they are scattered there in the Malaysia axis, mining our gold and everything. With at little time to come now, we'll be having crossbreed there. They will be giving birth to Chinese children there because the way they are mingling with this in and flirting with our children. So this is what these people are doing. This is what they are after. They can't just, they don't do anything for free. And they have come out in their recall now that this is why we are coming. There is no free thing even in Freetown.
If you know that, why do you have a problem with the U.S. intervention?
Initially, I never had problem with
What do you have it
but
now?
with this report now, initially, I thought they were
so
just...
So you do not see this for
because what the reason they advanced to us at that time was that, okay, they are going to give us technical support. They are going to share intelligence with us. They are going to give our military training and everything. Okay, right, when anybody tells you that, now, if somebody say, I'm going to paint your house for you, I'm going to, install water, I'm going to...
Okay. That's also price.
They didn't even mention price at that time. They are just coming up with price now.
But definitely, you know it's not going to be for free.
No, sometimes countries does that free for another country.
The United States, you know them to be such people.
That's why I said we shouldn't sleep with our eyes too closed now. Our eyes closed now. That's what I'm saying now. They are treacherous people. It's diplomatic treachery, not this kind of... So that is what countries does for another country. Nigeria is doing it to smaller country. We have a way of doing it too. As we are talking now, Nigeria is America to another country. All these things we are doing too. It's just because it's not affecting us. That's why we are not talking about it. The way we are groaning now, some people are groaning under the feet of Nigeria now. That they are saying, take your knee off our neck.
But if all these negotiations, as I'll put it now, it's going to give us results, should that be a problem for us to accept with America?
Going by history, what has happened to some other countries before will make us to be suspicious, will make us to be careful. If it is about resources now, they can't take away our whole resources. Nigeria is blessed. If it is not that they have a record of being insincere, of being dominant even after they have solved the problem. And in most cases, they don't solve the problem. They even allow the problem to escalate in some cases. They allow it to protract in some cases so that they can continue with their milking of your resources. So that is why it is not at this time, Nigeria should be very, very careful with whatever we are doing with them.
All right. Mr. Adeyi, I'd like to read some, excerpts from the Punch newspaper as regarding this conversation. It says here that this report is the result of months of investigation, including a bipartisan congressional fact-finding trip to Nigeria, hearings with experts, witnesses, consultations with religious leaders, meetings with internally displaced persons, and engagement with senior Nigerian government officials. The report details recommendations, including establishing a bilateral U.S.-Nigeria security agreement to protect vulnerable Christian communities and dismantle jihadist networks, withholding certain U.S. funds, pending demonstrable action by the Nigerian government to stop violence against Christians. Let's talk about that particular part there. According to this, you can assume that the U.S. has the opinion or, the thoughts that the Nigerian government has not given demonstrable action enough to stop violence against Christians. Do you share that opinion?
And look at the complication there. They say withholding U.S. funds.
Certain U.S. funds, pending the time the government. If you have a problem, you are the owner of this problem. This problem is more to you, and somebody else is coming, or someone wants to lend you money, and the person is saying, "Get some money. Let me see how far you can work before I commit." Is that not how investment works? If I want to help you, how far have you been able to help yourself? Is that not the question here? Is that not the coloration of this statement?
That statement is a subtle way of introducing sanction.
Sanction?
Yeah.
Also,
when you want to withhold certain funds.
the statement is clear.
They say the withholding of certain funds.
Pending demonstrable action by the Nigerian government to stop violence against Christians.
Those funds that they want to withhold now, that have been probably they have been.
And that this is not particular to Nigeria.
Hold it, please. Certain funds that they say they want to withhold now. Is it concerning those particular areas? Is it money that they have been given to those areas, affected areas, or is it the money that they have been using to assist Nigerians as a whole? And now Yoruba will say, now you want to inflict some punishment on the entire Nigerian nation.
Is this punishment?
It's a punishment.
Asking you to act.
They have not come out clear what type of funds they are going to withhold now. What type
but
of
the Nigerian government does understand what it means.
What type of assistance are they going to withhold now? If you are giving me with left hand and taking with right hand, how do we define that? What concerns funding in this one? That, okay, I want to... Is it because we had the funds that these people are killing us? That you want to withhold it?
There were aids that the U.S. gave to Nigeria.
I see, because we have that aids that they are killing us.
That you were able, several of these aids were to fund some of these things.
You see,
and Nigerian government has been seen to be complacent in this regard. And the U.S. knows it too. Is that not a good way to say that we will told this? You don't see it as a good thing.
It's not a good way.
So you want the Nigerian government to be complacent so that other people will run their affairs for them. Is that what you're saying?
If they want to be fair, they should even give us more at this time. We have crisis. You say you are withdrawing certain assistance that you have been giving to us before.
You want to be given more when you are not accountable for past aids
if you want to create succor for us, if you cannot give us more, you will not tamper with the one that you have been giving us. Saying that, okay, because they are... I will continue to say some things in Yoruba. They say, Ilenjo ni Shaki, Ulinja ni Shafara, Samfara. Iwofa bale Jabata, Oko bale Olongo Semo. What's his business? What's his concern? Jabata is in Oyo. There is Inferno in Shaki. And then another crisis in Samfara. Then the slave of Bale Jabata said, problem wa. What concerns that is just to strangulate us, to be able to bend to their demand.
Mr. Adeyi, let me help you understand this. These aids that are coming in forms of money to the Nigerian government by the U.S., which some of them have been withheld now, these are monies by taxpayers in the U.S., and they are coming to Nigeria to help our government. Are you saying that it's not their business to know what you use the monies that they're giving you for? It is not their business.
They can be given the money and monitor the money. Not that they will be saying outrightly, we are going to stop this.
If they monitor it, would you not see it as stifling as well?
Let us say the assistance has been coming in form of health. Now, are they saying that thing that we have been using the money for in health sector will stop until this war is over? If it is education, those are the things that they can be assisting us for. It's either by way of military support, it's either by way of education, health, and all what have you. So which one in particular are they saying that they are going to withhold now? Which one will be easy for Nigeria if they withhold?
Probably those going to displaced persons in IDP camps.
And what becomes a lot of the IDP people?
Well, the Nigerian government can step in.
If we can step in, if we have been able to do it, up to now, you see what is going on.
Do we not have huge budgets to security in this regard?
If they know we had it, why did they come in the first place to come and assist us on that? Whatever assistance you have been giving to a person,
what you have,
whatever they are, okay, a woman just walking here, met with the chairman of this place, said the husband has not been giving money for food allowance or something, has not been giving enough. And then the chairman of this place now say, okay, we are going to stop his salary. How does that solve the problem?
And probably divert it to you. Will not give the husband, or will slash it and divert it to you.
Is that clause there in what you read?
Then we told it, pending the time. There is a clause, pending the time, pending demonstrable action.
What will happen during the time of withhold? The time they withhold the money, what will happen to whatever we have been using the money for? What will happen?
Then maybe you learn to manage your resources. Pending the time we see that you're serious with your affairs.
That is increasing, a way of increasing the pains that those people, whatever area they will be using it for, that is a way of increasing the pains that will come from that place.
All right, let me give you a possible scenario here. There have been budgets for health in the Nigerian, budget every year. This year's own is about, I think, 50 trillion naira or thereabouts. And now, on Punch newspaper, it's reported that $550 million, is what we have for medical tourism in Nigeria. It has grown to that figure. And in naira, that's around 700 billion naira. And now, my point is that if we have so much going into health budgets, there are still several people spending that much in Nigeria on medical tourism. Now, the point is, every year we have humongous amounts going to budget on security, going to people, in displaced camps, going to building of of camps for these internally displaced persons. And now the US government has said, from our findings, we want to help you, but we want to see how far you can go on your own. And if this, how do you see this? Do you not see it as a wake-up call to the Nigerian government to be on top of this matter for the people?
Explain this. You see, the smartest way to make somebody succumb to your control and what have you, is to starve the person. Even if it's a country, just starve the person with whatever you may have been doing before or whatever you think that country will need most. Then they will bend to your rule. That is exactly what they are trying to do now. And haven't you considered this? What if they stop any of these aids or assistance that they are giving us, and China and Russia just say, okay, is that what you say you are lacking? Is that what all they can do to you? Then we'll start giving you. And they have the capacity to give us. So what becomes of the country? And when you are hungry, you eat even the food of your enemy. So they are exposing Nigeria to flirtation now with other countries if they say this is their solution to it. When I'm hungry and food comes from any direction, you take it. That is what they are doing now.
Well, that brings me to another question, Mr. Adeyi. Why is Nigeria heavily reliant on international aid?
Because we are not capable now. No country is 100% capable.
Why are we heavily reliant?
US, why they are doing all these things is that because they are not self-sufficient. Why would you go around the world stealing people's property if you are self-sufficient?
Did you say steal?
It's stealing now. That is what that's what it does. The Americans, they go about looking for what to steal from a country under whatever disguise. So it's not that they love us, that's why they say what if we are cleaning ourselves, what's their business? They have their ulterior motive, they have their reason for coming here because they are not self-sufficient. No country is self-sufficient all over the world. They continue to look for how to survive or add to whatever they had. That's why they are coming here now. I said it before. I said even in Freetown, nothing is free. So that is what they are doing. They want value for their money or whatever they are doing for us.
Or value for their help.
For their help or effort. That's what they want.
All right, let's from your opinion, it is clear that the intervention of America to Nigeria has an ulterior motive from all what you've been saying.
Before, I never thought that, but now I know.
But now this is your new perspective.
Yes. I changed I was here before when I said, okay, let them come. But now I'm not saying they should not come again.
Okay.
I've not really shifted from that position that they should come. They should come. We need them to come. But we should watch it with all these things that they have listed here.
As they come, we should have our eyes open to see what they
we should not sleep with our two eyes closed. They are, if they say those people are bandits or terrorists, there are different types of bandits and terrorists, you know. Some people, they can be financial terrorists. Some people can be diplomatic terrorists and all this. So we should not sleep with our two eyes closed. We have two battles on our hands now. We have this criminal element, then we have the internationally disguised solution. So we should not be too greedy now or too complacent or too greedy to say, okay, come, I tell you, without examining the conditions very well and say, this one is okay by us, this one is not okay by us. And if you are not coming, don't come again. Then let us deal with our problem. But they will not allow it that we should deal with our problem any longer now that they are already here. We can't tell them to go. They will want to escalate it so that we will beg them.
All right. Mr. Adeyi, some other parts of the Punch, I'll read it out now. It says, it also contains implementing sanctions and visa restrictions against individuals and groups responsible for or complicit in religious persecution, providing technical support to the Nigerian government to curb violence by armed Fulani militias, demanding the repeal of Sharia and blasphemy laws, and working with international partners, including France, Hungary, and the United Kingdom. So you had a problem with them saying that with this counter adversaries in your region, we want them out. But now they are they are recommending replacements in countries like France, Hungary, and United Kingdom. You not see it as
to
fair?
a large extent, I support this clause, that this particular one that you have read now, that, okay, they will restrict visa to certain category of people that have been identified
people
as
who are complicit
I like
in
it.
religious
But now,
violence.
they went for that to say they are going to repeal the Sharia law. That is why the problem comes in. How would they be able to do that? It will take the whole National Assembly to sit down and do that. And will certain part of the country agree to that?
Should that be a problem?
It's a big problem.
Should it be a problem?
It's supposed to be.
Why?
Something that you have entrenched into the Constitution.
Constitutions are meant to be amended.
Is meant to be amended, but not in this delicate aspect. This one is a very delicate one. This one will create a more serious religious problem. What's their business with Sharia law? Sharia law is not bad. It is the people that are twisting it. How are you going to change their mind or their use of it? If there is
something that the people see as a weapon to twist, do you not think it's bad for the people? And that weapon should be taken away from them.
There is nowhere in the world that you can change the people from twisting things to their own.
But if you can curb it to the barest minimum, do not take it.
It is not supposed to be the priority of the US or Nigeria government at this time to tamper with Sharia law. Sharia law, when it came, it almost divided the country. It was a very serious problem there. Thank God for wisdom of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. When he said at that time that the whole country, he calmed the country down and he told them that, okay, allow this thing to die a natural death. It almost engulfed the country or enveloped the country in crisis at that time. But Obasanjo wisdom just calmed the whole thing down. Now we are going back to it, to go and wake a sleeping dog, because America wants it so. So I won't subscribe to anybody going by way of tampering with the Constitution, especially based on religious reason now. That would be very deadly than what we are, the problem that we think we are going to solve. So let them leave that out. Sharia is not the trouble. What is the trouble is the interpretation of Sharia, because the education of those people that are over there is quite low. Okay, all these things that they are doing, killing and everything, is because they don't even understand the Quran. They don't understand the Prophet Muhammad. He never said all these things that they are doing. He never sent them. He never preached it. So it's about educating those people. Let them go and create more schools there. Let them go and create more awareness. Let them go and create more understanding, so that they will not go and kill another. What's the name of that girl that they burnt that time?
Yeah, Deborah, I think.
So Deborah or something like that. So that is the problem we have with those people from that part of the country. It's not Sharia. Sharia is not disturbing anybody.
All right. The viewer, thank you for staying with us thus far. We'll take this quick break. When we return, conversation continues. Stay with us.